Marble is, by the numbers, the 7th best surfer in the world, with 16 world records, 147 top 10s, and nearly 400,000 total points. All this on KSF, the most competitive surf server ever created. And although he's ranked 7, pound for pound he may be even better. If that wasn't intimidating, take note that he's only 16, in a game that has matured and has a much older, experienced player base. He was recently interviewed for his world record on Tronic, one of the most revered records on KSF, and previously owned by the famous Sinsa. We talked a lot about the record and what led up to it, Marble's beginnings and legacy, and tips for surfers of all levels sprinkled throughout. Some quick notes: all footage comes from KSF Records, Crayallington, and Batman. Please consider donating to Niasel, who runs KSF Records. Pleasant worldly happenings have caused them to lose ad revenue. It's just the right thing to do. Also, the audio yet again suffered, particularly on my end. And finally, a thank you to Orson at Angle CS for the inspiration to do this. I hope to do many more of these next week, specifically with Manana. We're going to talk about Surf's Upside Down right now, the yearly tournament comprised of KSF's best available surfers. He placed 3rd last year and 2nd 2 years prior. Oh, and he was only 14 at the time. One thing I was wondering is, how was the coverage? First of all, you commented on the Surf's Upside Down 2 tournament video I made. That was it was a little dodgy, I'm not going to lie, looking back. And you pointed out the audio problem. Thank you for that. Did you feel like I accurately represented what happened in that round versus Emil?
Let me see which put.
And you can either do that one or just the one that I just sent you, because I'm hoping it's I'm not gassing up how it happened or anything like that.
Sounds great in my left ear, though.
One ear is good audio. Oh my god.
Okay, well, what first happened was, you can ask Tellers, I think I told him. I did super good against Liquidator.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to go for WR during the tourney.
Oh.
Halfway through, I realized that wasn't the right move. And so I started getting nervous. And once that happened, I just broke down and got shaking my way through the map.
And the nerves, people don't realize it just it could even be a small thing. I remember in the same tournament, somebody had a nervous shake and it turned into a ramp strafe on Inspire and got them to end.
That was me.
That was you too.
That was me.
It's so good, bro. But it'll make the most technical, precise things that much harder. It's hard to describe, right?
Yeah, because you have to be smooth and surf. You can't. If you board a ramp bad, you're instantly down 100 units on most maps, and that can lead to a lot of time.
Oh, 100%.
That's where WRs go to group ones, for example. It's all they just have more units usually.
And that the time constraint does not help either, right? You only got 10 minutes in those tourneys to do what you need to do.
Yeah, it's definitely a short time. Me personally, I always sometimes I do better under nerves. I don't know. It's just something that's always happened in those tourneys. If you notice at the very end of the semifinals, Tronic match, I went 4 times in a row to the last CP or last spin or something like that.
Right.
Consistently, all the time, got there, failed each time. But you just get weirdly consistent when you're in that setting, I feel. I mean, with the practicing, I've definitely noted I was way more on point in the first and second tournament. Third tourney, obviously, I didn't practice as much as I did. I only practiced for a week straight, and I took a week break before the tournament because my sleep schedule was really messed up at the time. So I was up for 24 hours straight as well during that match.
No, I understand.
I think Caffrey pointed it out. That part, I usually always get down correct, because I'm always locking that part when I'm going for WR runs. But in the tourney, I was so focused on going so fast, I never got there, So it was just a blind move in the run. And, I always ended up either, overspinning it at the very end or turning too early. Nerves definitely don't help as well.
And what kind of prep do you do in advance for a tournament generally?
Before a tournament, okay, so the day of, I will lock every map at least once with a decent time. Normally, I only spend 10 minutes locking it. Kind of in the tournament. If you've ever seen me saveloc, I'm always savelocking 1 or 2 attempts and then instantly going on a run. I think it's important to go through every map like in small increments. Like just go 10 minutes on one map, 10 minutes on the other. And beforehand, like the week or 2 weeks before when we find out the maps, I think it's the thing that helps the most is like actually spending time on the map to learn what's fast. Like a big thing is actually like analyzing the bot and seeing what they do differently and just trying to figure out like how they are faster how they are faster than you. And then, from there you can just run a lot of attempts. Like if you look at my PR info on all the maps, they're all like 6 hour plus, like on in the first tournament. And if you look at the first tournament, I did really well on some of the maps because I practiced like a lot. You just save lock or go for run. Once you're more confident on a map, I recommend like save locking it. But I don't think you should spend too much time going for runs if you're not getting anywhere. Like if you're failing for like 3 minutes straight at one part, just whip out save lock, try that part again, and maybe you'll get it that time.
And
Get you back in the groove.
that's super applicable. You just watched me do shouting yesterday. Did you notice that I didn't do that? That there were lots of times where I was failing like the same section over and over?
Yeah, and you'll probably just save lock and like if you ever watch me, I will save lock way more than probably most people. Like if I get to a part and I fail, and it's like a dumb fail, I might just skip over it. But if I get multiple dumb fails, I'm just gonna try to resave lock it and get the muscle memory down again, and then just try and chain a run together while you get good. While you're still good, because for me, I've noticed like there's definitely like a stamina portion like of it. Like I can't surf for more than an hour without like dropping off.
Yep.
After like an hour rotation, definitely like making a lot of dumb fails, not doing as good.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, and this is interesting because Orson made a podcast where he talked about like he and Emil and a couple other people saying like the opposite. There was something like around the 2 to 4 hour mark where you would hit the run. But I am absolutely in your case where I cannot. I don't even make to the end of an 80-minute rotation. Like I'm always tapping out of whatever I'm trying. Now
Yeah, that's
I'm not
exactly how
skilled.
I am now.
I'm not at your level, but I'm pretty sure that's the way most people are too. Like this is not a game that you can play for league. You could play for 8 hours a day if you need to, but this is like so physically and mentally taxing.
Yeah, 'cause it'll demotivate you if you're constantly making really like if you fail a board on a ramp or you just do like something that you wouldn't normally do. Like that's when you're starting to get worse is because you're doing stuff you wouldn't normally do. Like, if you
Mm.
notice the first time after you save lock, practice all the stages, sections, whatever, you go for runs, you're really good. But then 30 minutes later, you're not as good. You're making dumb fails. That's when you whip out the save lock again, for me at least. And then after that, you're probably not gonna go anywhere.
Mm.
Now, when I streamed, I definitely like when I used to be able to play the game like for multiple hours on end, multiple rotations on one map. Yeah, it was definitely. I never really got it the first time. It was always like third or fourth rotation, like they say.
Ah.
But those runs weren't nearly as good either.
Something about that first hour where you're not building like those bad habits or whatever's happening seems to be like that prime spot for you now.
It's just like a fresh mind, You're just clear of everything.
I feel that. So my next question, just to clarify, do you practice every map for tournament, or are there some maps where you're like, "Fuck this, I'll just take the L"?
I definitely practice every map now. For most of everything, yeah, I'll at least learn it. Like, well, for me, I'm more of a versatile surfer. Like, I know people see me as like, just tech, but I
Mm.
can definitely do. I can do some unit. I'm not gonna get too ahead of myself, but like, I don't mind unit either. But if it's some maps I just won't learn. Like, I think last tournament it was. Let me look the maps real quick. I'll tell you.
Hmm. Well, it's interesting because you knocked out something I was going to ask you about. Like, how would you characterize your style nowadays?
So I think okay, last tourney I did not I refused to learn. I want to say No, I learned all of them last tournament. And hold on, I'm looking at the second tournament. I didn't learn air control.
Wait, what?
But
What?
it's not like I didn't learn it. It's more like I didn't like waste time on it because I know I'm like one of the worst on the map. Like if I go against
Ah,
like Fishu or Levi, I'm obviously not gonna take the win. But if I go against like somebody that, I'd say I'm more like versed with on the unit map, like Michaela, I get surprises on unit maps with him, like in the first and third tournament. I think it's definitely worth to put yourself into like situations you're uncomfortable with because it'll you know it just helps for your overall skill. Like it just makes me more versatile if I actually practice units, even though I don't like units as much. Like I definitely prefer tech,
right.
probably because I'm better at it, but it definitely helps you if you actually play unit map.
Do you think part of the reason why you like tech was turn binds at some point?
uh, I didn't really think about turn binds because I've always played with turn binds, because
Right.
I came from Beyond.
Ah,
The
okay.
reason I like tech is just, I mean, honestly, originally it's because a lot of the WRs are free with it. I'm not even gonna lie, because a lot of them, there's a lot more minus potential because not a lot of people want to run them. So they look better. But I like the more fast-paced strafe style maps. Like if you've noticed, most of my WRs are either strafe heavy or they are, tech heavy. Because I like the fast pace, because I come from BOP, and a lot of BOP's just fast movements, fast like strafes.
Do you remember how you started surfing when you did that transition?
That transition, I started getting like bored of BOP, so I played on this server called Horizon,
Right.
and I'd be up there. I got rank 1. I got bored of BOP. I never played Source as heavily. There's this map called How to Surf. Very strafe heavy map. So I play that. I actually got the record on it. It was my first ever like surf record, Horizon Surf How to Surf. And from there, I just became more interested in it because I was like, I'm not gonna say I was naturally good, but like I just started off at like a higher level because I came from beyond, and knowing how to strafe, the optimal strafes, it saves time and it definitely like helps you skip a lot of the steps and surf. And it
Ooh.
even carries over now to like, you know, I'd still say like I'm a higher level strafer. Like it definitely helps in WRs, you can jump earlier. That always saves time, get more units.
Mm.
But that's how I went from being off to surf. After that, I just got really interested, played a lot of maps. Eventually moved to Source because that's where all the competition was. From there, took WRs, I guess.
And how old were you when you started B-Hop?
Ooh,
Whoa, man, am I deep? Am
it
I
was,
reaching deep?
2017?
27.
It's
Oh,
actually, again, it's actually kind of far. I think I started when I was like 12 or 11. Because, okay, so I bought CSGO May of 2017. I would have been 11.
jeez.
And I didn't start out on BOP actually. Well, I kind of did. What happened was like I bought the game, but like I played Death Run. I played Death Run like the
Oh.
2017 summer. Played Death Run. That got me into BOP. That's what got me into BOP. And then from there, I got decent enough at BOP. I could surf, and then from surf, I just kept going, go to a higher level.
Okay, okay. A little bit of Marvel trivia. Do you remember your first KSF record?
Technique.
Wow. All right. Wow. Okay. Never mind. Never mind.
I
Uh.
remember them in order probably.
Oh no. Seriously?
Let's go. We got
All right. Go ahead.
Technique. We got. Ooh, what was this? Oh wait, I might be lying. I might be lying.
I do know what this is.
Okay,
I know what this one is. It's AIDS. It's totally AIDS.
I know that's yeah. Oh, Happy Hug, Happy Hug,
Oh, happy.
Happy
Oh,
Hug one
wait.
shot.
I was wrong about that one. What do you think the
Was
next
I
one
wrong?
is? No, I was wrong. I was wrong. I think you're right. I saw the
Rule.
rule video on it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Technique that. Not missing. No, it's not Dionysus. Is it Entropy? I think it might be. No, that was 6th or 7th.
So I think it might be Marble Blast?
No, I
No,
never had
no.
that. You're
Hold
gonna
on.
tell me, and I'll know it instantly. I just can't think of the name.
You think it's Entropy and Entropy Hard?
No, I think that was like the 6th or 7th WR I had.
All right. Let me go on
There's
Discord. I could
oh,
actually say
Surf
this.
Again, maybe?
You think it's
No.
again? That's a good map. I like that map actually.
Surf Again was like my 4th or something. No, but I know it was around my 3rd or 4th that CAF actually contacted me about doing the tournament. I was so surprised. I was like,
What?
wow.
And then you finished
Yeah.
second?
Yeah.
Wow,
I
dude.
was playing on KSF for maybe 2 months before he did that. I s
Whoa.
My first WR was in February, but I didn't really start mainly playing till COVID hit, so that was, like, March, April. May was when I did Entropy, both Entropies, and then, summer, I think it was June, was the tournament. But he contacted me in May, so it was, like, when I had, like, 4 or 5 or 6 WRs. Within the first 2 months, I know.
What's crazy to me is that you started in COVID. I started in 2014, my guy. That
Damn.
is your growth, just the rate of your growth is absolutely insane. Okay, I've got a different one from old map. This is definitely a world record from the day before or 2 days after. Tier 3 staged map.
Yeah, that sounds right. All mine are, like, tier 3 and tier 4
Yep.
stage maps because those are all the old one all really it's old maps, to be honest.
You're right about
Not
Missing No. Missing
really
No is like 5th or 6th. Okay, hold on.
okay.
This one's
Tier 3
new.
stay. It wasn't Rage Quit. I know that. Was it Portal? No.
Close. It's a lot. I would say stage 1 is a lot like Portal.
A lot like
Yeah, I wouldn't know this. Like if you asked me what was like the 4th surf map I'd be, I would have no idea.
man, I'm gonna know it as soon as you tell me. I just can't Oh, I give up. What is it?
Global Chaos?
Oh, now okay, yeah.
That's
Now I
right?
remember it. Yeah, yeah, now I remember.
This was
Yeah, no, that's I got hooed on that video.
yeah, wait. You got Hood in one of your records too. I think the first one. Hold on.
Yeah, I think it was Warble's video.
Oh my god.
They're like, "Who's Marvel?" Because that was the first one that actually got uploaded, I think, like to an actual channel.
Mm. Was there a
Because
moment where you realized you were really good at this though, or was it just like you played it for a long time? Because
I just
2017.
kept, I just kept playing. Okay, you gotta realize, like, I had a lot of breaks because Fortnite. That was a thing.
Yeah.
I kept going back and forth. I'd play very spontaneously. Like I go from like 3 months to like not playing for 6 months and coming back. I did that with the opposite surf this whole time. So like I don't have a lot of consistent play time. It's always like during COVID, for example, like it's like 200 hours past 2 weeks, and then it's like none. But I didn't ever think I was good. Like I always downplayed myself. I mean, I think I still probably do, but I just kept playing. I never thought about that stuff.
And the game was always first then. Or just like
Wait,
not
say it
even
again?
just back in like the game was always first. Like you were just playing. Like it was never about
Yeah, I was just hopped on, played a map, got a VR, whatever. Let's go back.
okay, okay. Get a little boasty there. That like you gotta understand. There's like I'm 23. Cam is like 24. He's a doctor. Like for us, we've been
You gotta realize I have a lot of time in that game.
how many? How much do you
As
have?
I have like 4,000 hours.
I probably have 4,000 hours. I probably have between Gmod, CS:GO, and this. I probably have 4,000
In
hours.
the past and from COVID, I
Oh,
think I gained like so many hours during COVID. I
that
went from
short
like
span.
500 to like 4,000 now.
See that probably plays a factor too.
I played nonstop every day for like 3 months, probably. Because I never
Okay,
got bored of it. That's the key. You just got if you're actually motivated, you can definitely like just keep playing, keep grinding. Play more maps, really. Because every map will teach you something different. If you play Pox, for example, you're gonna realize turning walls faster instead of keeping speed, turning turning a wall for time instead of speed will be better in the long run. Same thing with drops. Like that's a lot of tech surf. It's really just do you need more speed or do you need more drop? Because the faster you're falling, the faster your time is. And you s- you got to juggle, which one. Like, should you max out to the bottom of the ramp or should you stay high so you get a better drop? And where you get all that info is, saveloc or looking at the bot.
And that's something that's like directly applicable. So there's the drop. So after the white outline B hop, there's the drop, and then how you go off of that awkward ramp. This is what Cam was trying to explain to me too. I think it's not about your units horizontal at all. It's all about your drop units that maybe you like don't even see.
Yeah, you don't see your drop units, but you can tell when you're falling faster because, you'll be farther back.
Right.
And you can really just feel it. You can actually like feel it because you'll have to do stuff faster. Like the hardest part about tech is actually like usually falling faster. I say usually because it's not always just falling faster, but it's just falling faster and still executing the route. Like with the Tronic spin, you have to fall faster to save time. Like the long white spin, that you call it.
Yeah.
You have to fall faster and still hit the window skip. Which is kind of hard. You have to spin faster. Like, you might have to up your yaw or, like, move your mouse faster. That's the hardest part about it all.
Is that the major choke point? Do you think that's like the hardest part of the map?
I think the 180 is really hard to get right. Like, the drop down ramp after the white outline be up, that is for sure the
Uh,
hardest part of the map.
that backwards ramp, right?
Yeah, because
Uh,
if you go too high, the ramp is steep enough that you'll just lose all your speed. But if you go too low, you're gonna come up with you're gonna come off the ramp with upwards momentum. And, you want to be falling downwards. Like you want to be as close to zero or like falling down already off that ramp. And a lot of the people when they do that 180, they land on the lower part of the ramp, and so they'll just moon, and that's where they lose time.
okay. How,
The
how's that?
farther up you land on the ramp, you're gonna be falling faster into the next part. Which is also what that extra speed helps with, doing Batman's, like, route. That really helped it because you could now fall faster to gain more time and still hit the route.
Wait, what the hell was I? I was about to interrupt you, and I can't remember what the hell I was gonna. Okay. First CP. No, you had a different route. 270 in the green box. I know. I don't even know if you like would describe it like this. 270, and then you're turning left instead of right when you're doing this skip. Like, and then you're bored onto the ramp below instead of having to flick all the way back to the right. Now you're just boarding from the spine. Does that sound? Does that sound accurate?
Yeah, that is the route.
And okay. And is that really not as hard as later sections of the map? Is that not a choke point in your opinion?
It it was only a choke point at first because I had to relearn the whole route. And actually the original
Oh,
route doesn't even, um you don't even do a 270, I don't think. I only added that in because the way I do the rest of the map. So Tronic has these things. Um, Not every spin and the long white spin is a left turn.
right.
And I'm a big fan of left turns because I don't have a right turn lane. So I had to rethink about the whole route to implement that just so I could actually go into the left spin. And that required just doing 270 degrees instead of 180. In the end, it wasn't too bad. Because actually, the biggest thing was mouse room, but after you do that, it like sets up perfectly. You know, if you're falling fast enough, you'll have more units actually, so it's easier to make the skip. But it's kind of harder to, well, compared to the original route, it's not harder to board the ramp, but you're kind of coming in with a lot of units, so like it's just hard. Before though, it was kind of like random, like to just actually board the ramp with good units. I think Sinsa got really good units in his run.
And we're talking about the one after CP1, right? Wait, which one
Yeah.
are we talking? Okay, yeah. So Cam tried to explain this whole thing to me, and I want to like try to put it into my own words so that we're on the same page. It's like even though Tronic is not a four-way map, or is a four-way map, it is not symmetrical four ways. It's only symmetrical two ways. So when you get
Yes.
all the way to the end of the map, the long way spin has both left and right spins. If you don't go the correct way at the start, you will end up with a right-hand spin that like nobody wants to do because you have to keep spinning right the entire way through the spin.
Yeah. And also, if you've ever noticed, although it wasn't an issue the more I played the map, but every time I always painted the right ramp to go on to actually know if I'm like I had to paint the routes to make sure I went to the left spin like every rotation I played that map.
Oh man. What?
Like I don't know if you noticed in attorney, but they were like flaming my paint skills. Yeah, that's because I was painting all the spines and painting arrows to where I was supposed to go.
You would think you would remember, but it did really help you, right? It just made it so that you always knew where you were supposed to go.
I was just certain, yeah. Like it made me more confident knowing I was actually going the right way if I was on a fast run. Because beforehand, before like when I wasn't painting the map, I definitely had like good runs that went nowhere because it ended up being a right spin. A big thing is
Oh.
the waterfall skip. I remember like how you do it now. Like you just spin 450 degrees, I think.
Mhm.
But sometimes I was overspinning or underspinning it, and so I would end up in the
Wow.
right side spin.
And that's really hard to track because that's a fast spin. So telling where you are is
Right,
like impossible.
right. That's why I
Dang.
marked which drop it actually was.
Mm, okay. Now fast forward to when you get the record. How did it feel to finally get it once you got it?
I definitely felt way better because I spent a long time on that map. That record was probably the one I went after, like that I never got. I played that was the first top actually. Believe it or not, that was my first top on any map on KSF. And after I got like good, well, after I got like better and I actually went for the WR, um, I've definitely ran it for like a year and a half or 2 years. Like that map has the most time in zone out of all my maps. So it definitely felt good because I would always get a good CP1, CP2. I either like choke the 180, I miss the spin, I've like all too slow, or I'll just do something. And you'll notice I was nervous in that run because that was a fast run. But if you notice, I lost point one in the last CP because I was just very nervous. So I I I was happy I got it. But if I wasn't nervous, I would have gone like point one more. But I'm fine with it now because I didn't expect it. Because I literally just hopped on. I was like, I'm gonna try a map today. Cam hops on. He tells me about the route, as you have said, and then I just get it in like 30 minutes.
No
So
way.
yeah,
You're saying
I
30
got it in my
minutes.
first rotation. Yeah, that's why Cam was so surprised.
Oh, dude, I didn't know that. That's fucked up.
No, no, I wasn't playing it for like 3 hours. I legit got it in like 30 minutes because
Okay,
it was really just waking up, trying runs on it for like an hour, and then just try again the next day, and that went on for enough days to where my time in zone is probably 2 days right now.
that's like that's not that much compared to some. I feel like there are some world records you. Well, okay, that's besides the point. I just want to clarify. Cam shows you the strategy, and then 30 minutes, like, so he's been practicing, he's been doing this route for years, and then you hop on, and in half an hour, you take it.
Yeah, well, it was more like okay. Originally, I helped him out on Tronic. I kept telling him to do the old route. He kept only being able to do that one route, right?
Mm.
And so eventually, he keeps like showing it around. I'm like, wow, minus point three CP2. That's pretty good. I was like, he just get like a really good board. Like what happened? I see his run. I'm like, wow, that's better. Because the main thing about that is you keep speed because you don't have to worry about air accelerate. You know, the biggest issue with the route, Sinsa does in Pieru is you have to quickly turn right, like just do a quick 180, and doing that loses all your speed. And here Cam comes by in his route that he only did because he couldn't do the other route. That route ended up being better because it puts you on a side where you have enough room to actually strafe around and keep like plus 200 units. I hop on. After I see that, I hop on. I learn it. I'm like in the process of learning it, and he joins, and then he's trying for runs, and like 20 minutes later, I get it, or 30 minutes. I can't remember the exact number, but it was pretty short. That's why he was so surprised. Like the story told, definitely very true.
Unintentional, true. Oh man, dude, that was perfect. That clarifies like so much for me. I feel like Cam like understands that he didn't get robbed. It was like his route was so hard, and he knew the CP2 was going to be difficult for him. And I think I like when I spoke to him, he's super happy with rank 3 on that map. That's a really cool map to have a high top on, and he put a lot of hours into it. He got what he needed. But fuck, man.
Yeah, he was running for a while, and then you know he just couldn't get a rundown. That's why I said probably Cam. Because I thought he would get it. Because every run he had, he was minus on WR. He just couldn't
Ah.
put together a run. And then I kind of swooped in and took it, but
So wait, if
that's all right.
he's minus 0.3, were you minus 0.4 at the same point? So if he did his own route now, he'd be down 0.1?
Probably. I mean,
Okay.
you can definitely minus that CP2, I think. You can probably
Yeah.
minus 0.2 it still with a like really good run. But I had a bad CP1 in my run. So it could have like the CP2 would have been better if I had a good CP1, but I wasn't on top of it that day.
Hmm.
Because CP1 itself is very hard to get right because you need like the perfect wall hit, perfect like fast spin, you know, and then you just have to not moon it. But I have matched Batman's task CP1 though. I did do that at one point. I don't have video proof, but I have proof of minus 0.19, which is
Gotcha.
like one tick off, I think.
So, my friend, I have some cleanup questions for you. Do you see anybody else taking the record other than you, Cam, and Piedu?
I think somebody will try eventually. Now if they will, I'm not sure. Um since it's kind of done with surf, I feel
That was
I
what I
don't
was
think he's gonna do
expecting.
anything.
He's done. He's
Uh
not gonna come for it.
I don't think I think if he did, he would have already.
Shit.
And Cam, I don't think he's gonna go for it. I don't think he's running it.
Not both done. I
Like, cause
spoke
I
with both
think
of them.
I think it's also like an intimidation factor,
Hmm.
cause they know like I've locked these big minuses on this map, and they know like if they beat it, they're just gonna I'm probably gonna play it again until I get a better time, and they know like if they can match what time I'm going for, like what time I've locked, they're like, what's the point of taking it? I felt that on some maps, like if calf minus is like 0.2 on a map and I can only lock like 0.1 on my best run, I probably won't try to retake it.
This is gonna get yoinked. It's not worth it, right?
Right.
Hmm.
And I'm not saying Piodu or Cam or anyone else that does it like can do it. But I think it's a comfortable enough minus that somebody's I don't think people are gonna want to do it.
Gotcha.
But there's definitely a lot more minus in the map. I'd love to see people go for it. It's because that's one map I've always loved. It was my first top on KSF.
Mm.
It's definitely my favorite WR I have, and it's definitely one of my favorite maps, if not the favorite I have.
Got this like we've got this soft like floor of 32.32. We think
I think 32.2 is probably like
30.2.
yeah.
Okay, okay. Is there any possibility, just because it would be cleaner from content perspective, we could bump that down to a 32? A little bit of misinformation, but Could
No,
we
my
say
son from it. What does Batman have?
that is 32.03? So that's like you're tassing your fucking Levi on steroids. What can you do? And it's not even
Um,
30. It's not sub 32. I could ask him like if he could try to squeeze zero point zero 0.04 out of it just for the
he definitely probably could.
yeah.
Looking at his run, I don't know. I think he could. You can get really close. I mean, I don't really know what the cleaner, but you can probably get like 32.15. Just from what I've logged, like I think you can get 32.15 or 32.2.
What was the lowest that you locked?
That 32.32 that you
Mm.
said, that was with old route. So you can add like another point 0.1 to that because new route saves way more. And really, if you want like a perfect CP1, you can add like 0.05. I spent a long time on that lock, to be honest. Like you can ask Peter, he was there. I got a really good CP2, all in one lock, mind. Like so, I went into CP1. I did CP1 to CP2 minus zero point 0.6 and one lock. I had like the perfect board, perfect like everything.
So the consistency's there.
Yeah.
Do you think if you did run it, like, do you think if just like we're gonna double beat it, you could get like a 32.5?
How much am I set on now?
That
Hold
would be
on.
minus. That would be minus zero point 0.3. That'd be like you're gonna put another 25 hours
I
into
I,
this shit.
I can do that.
You could
I
do
think.
that. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Now,
But
would I? Probably not.
not in a million years, right?
I got some other maps I want to do,
Oh, we didn't even
which
fucking.
are empty promises.
Okay, before you tell me that, we didn't even talk about Anubis.
Anubis.
Yeah,
I love
bro.
Anubis.
You're gonna run it?
While I run Anubis, oh.
I made a whole fucking TikTok, bro. Wait, I made a TikTok about that shit. You gotta run it.
I know. Uh, we'll see. Okay, I have like I'll have like a good 2 weeks before where I'm not doing anything, unless I get my job. But I'll have a good 2 weeks of doing nothing. So I plan to stream a lot during that. Actually,
You
probably Anubis.
get the job. Take the job instead of Anubis. I think is the move.
Well, no, I don't have it yet, but really, I only said like the first 2 weeks because my summer classes start at when do they start? They start like mid June, and so I'm basically out of school this week. Like I only have 2 days left, but I'll still have to study for the SAT that I'm redoing. So
Mm-hmm. It's
that's why I
tough.
don't say next week.
It's a
Yeah,
tough time. This junior year is really tough.
yeah,
Now, I will say that that video that YouTube short, whatever it was, I know it
yeah.
was weird, but the idea was I spoke to and he told me that for one of the videos on his channel, he bought Google Ads. So I
Uh
said,
huh.
okay, I want to make a short because I want to like know how to do this, but I also want to try this Google ad thing. So what would be worth? Like I spent like $10. Like I spent $10 for 700 views, which it just sounds weird like saying it, but it was definitely worth trying. But it didn't.
Yeah.
It needed to have like an out. It needed to have a like a wait like
Good
a
outcome.
yeah. It needed something. There needed to be somewhere for if it were to blow up for it to flow into because I knew that I wasn't going to be uploading any content. So I thought, okay, it's about Anubis. Who's streaming Anubis? Like username doesn't stream. You stream, and nobody else wants to fucking run it. I could have. At the end of the day, I could have also plugged Dawn or Default, but Default stopped streaming and Dawn stopped streaming. So it was like okay,
I don't know if they're doing it on KSF though.
doing it on fell 85 tick, but some people in the comments were like, "Oh, you
Yeah,
missed them," and I was like, "Yeah, you know what? 85 tick. It's
I
a
mean, I
it's
guess.
it's a tech map, but it matters. The units really
I mean, it
matter for
makes it.
stage two.
Yeah.
It makes it worse.
I mean, for stage 2 it doesn't matter, but stage 3 it does.
Oh wait, which one is the one where you just can't even get to the part consistently? That's hard. It's stage three.
Stage 3, yeah, because it's all unit. Like it's awkward, ramp, strafe, unit, surf, low unit, and after that, you're basically at like a random spin. It's not a random spin, but like a random ramp. That's the hard part of that.
So nobody has 100% now, right? Because nobody's beat Anubis.
Yeah, nobody's beating it.
Shit.
And I think it's still zoned as a map, so yeah.
Oh shit! Not the
It's been
KSF version.
um wait, what? I don't even know if I tested that or played it. I don't think it was added. Was it? I don't think the original new. No, it was.
It was, and then they patched it.
Yeah.
It's a long
No, it's
time.
because I didn't originally play it. Because I gave up on stage 2 spin because it was literally like tier 10 unit just to get to the spin. And then, but the nerd version definitely makes it way easier. Actually, humanly doable.
And it's possible, but it's just the amount of attempts that it would take is what I've heard from people now. I think you might have said
Yeah.
that to me.
No, it's definitely doable, but it's just, it's not really enjoyable to throw runs into because you need a perfect ramp strafe, to even get enough units to make it to the spin. After the spin, you gotta spin really tight because it's like low units. And then after that, it's you have to get like you have to come off the ramp like with height and without hitting a wall to even get like close to getting to beating it. If you hit a wall, you're down units, you can't do it. If you don't come off like with an upwards velocity, air accelerate will just like tell you no and just stop you and you'll lose all your speed. So it's really tricky because you have to flick fast, turn fast so you don't hit the wall, and then from there you have to do like you have to do a weave with no mouse room. It's definitely not. It's kind of hard.
Hmm? I mean, I'm sad that no one's gonna beat it, but it was made for a reason, right? Now we have this new upper limit to reach.
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely try it again eventually, cause it gets a lot of viewers,
Oh yeah,
and it definitely motivates you to know you're the first one to do it. That's what got me to do deity, and I felt great doing deity. Like, being the first to do deity. It was fun. I had, like, 100 some viewers. It was definitely interesting.
it was hype. It was very hype, my guy.
Yeah, it was. I loved it.
Let me make a promo video. When you're gonna do Anubis, let me make like a 4 or 5 minute thing. Easy viewers, bro.
But I can't stick to my word.
Or that you would do it. No, yeah, no, I understand that. That makes sense.
Nah, cause sometimes, like, I just don't feel like streaming. Cause when I play Surf now, just it's just out of nowhere, like, maybe I'm just, like, bored one night, and I'm like, "Hey, let me just hop on, try a couple maps, play for, like, 30 minutes to an hour, and then I just hop off." And then streaming, it's different, actually streaming the stream and then just like streaming while you're playing. Like I find it really boring to just stream while I'm playing, because it's like you feel forced to play maps for hours on end, and it just becomes unfun at the end. Like that's why I don't stream like long anymore. It's just not. It's not good. You're
That's
just
sort of
bored half the time.
that's I think that's what happened with soap, but that's a discussion for another time. You
I
mentioned,
love soap.
oh man, we can't get into it. It's already been an hour. You you mentioned not too long ago you've got your maps in the bag. Some maps you're thinking about taking. Do you want to give us a
Yeah,
little bit of tea? Can you spill some tea for us?
I kind of already spoiled it, but I really want to do a good run on Royal. Royal
Oh,
is definitely the next one. What are some other maps? The way I run maps is I'll like be really motivated to do them. Like I'll lock them and I'll see like big minus. I'll just try it for like a week maybe, but then after that I never return. So it's like very inconsistent. But I definitely want to do Royal. Like when I say Royal, like I want to do like a really good contender for record of the year type thing. Not like number one, but actually making it into the video because I've never made it into the top WRs of a year.
you got it, bro. With this Tronic is gonna be top 10. I think
Oh, I guess now I might,
that's a
but
year from now. You're gonna have to wait.
yeah, I gotta wait.
You
I
could
mean,
pull a
it
Lima.
was received well. I mean, people think it's a really good record. So
But the views aren't there. I don't know what happened. Like I've noticed this. We're gonna get into a whole thing. We definitely could have a second conversation. Thank you so much for talking to me. If we do talk again, so far, new maps to beat. I want to know what you're gonna do on Royal. That could make it World Record of the Year. Fuck it,
Oh,
man.
I can tell you right now. Like,
You could tell. All right, last
if you got
last
time,
T,
you
last
got
T.
time.
Let's get it.
Okay. So stage one. Okay, if you notice the actual WR right now,
I'm pulling it up. Let's
no
get it.
stage one direct, but he directs the royal spin, which saves like point 0.8 on Roldar. Directing royal spin versus directing stage one.
And so you have to do
Roldar
both.
directed stage one. Me, I'm trying to do both. However, what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to slide the first jump on stage three, which saves point 0.3. So overall, I have about like -1 in the map. The route is you jump and then you be off the spine of a ramp so you
Okay.
can make it to the second ramp of the stage.
Yes.
However, you can slide that and save like point 0.4 if you do it good. However, the slide is like insanely hard. Like you need one tick slide, like you need perfect strafes, perfect like coming close to the floor. Like you have to hit your head but not hit it. So I'm trying to do that now. So if I do hit that run, I think it'll be really good. I think it'll be received well too.
And the reason why the the stage three slide will save time is because the hop is giving you you're losing time going up and down, and the slide would potentially just eliminate that.
Right, slide you don't jump up, so you continue falling. Well, you don't fall at the same speed because that would be an edge bug. But instead of okay, well when you jump, you obviously like you gain upwards momentum. When you slide, it's like reset to zero basically. So instead of jumping, so one jump usually takes around like 0.7 seconds.
Mhm.
And so if you slide it, basically you just don't jump up. So you don't have to worry about, going up and down. Like think of it like if you have like an equation, right? You have like you got a little parabola jumping up and down. Like think of it like as the units or yeah, like your upward momentum. And when you slide, you're basically like you're not going up at all. Like you don't go up and come back down. You just keep going down. Like you don't have to wait for gravity to pull you down. You instantly go from zero to negative instead of going from zero to positive, whatever, and then back to negative.
And so the crazy world record is going to be stage one direct, this crazy one tick slide thing, and then direct royal spin. You don't mean directly into the spin,
And
right?
window skip. No, no, I do mean that.
Oh, okay. So it's off first. Now I'm looking. Okay, off the first ramp directly into the spin, and the window skip, which is going through the little slits at the end.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
it definitely is.
Wait
Which
a
is why I'll
minute.
probably not hit it.
Wait, Roldar doesn't even hit it. Wait, am I even looking at the right run? I'm looking at Roldar 2020, June 28th.
Roldar. Okay, so Roldar had this WR for a long time.
Yeah.
He and so Arxie beats it.
Oh.
Roldar beats it with the direct, right? And then Arxie just comes in, doesn't direct, and
Direct
he
royal
directs the
spin?
spin. Yeah.
Because now I can see what it looks like to do both. And so
Yeah, if you look at the CPR and CCP, it saves like point 0.7 or point 0.8.
so now I can even calculate like just about how much would be taken off by a run like that.
But you got the only reason like Roldar didn't retake is because that directing that spin is way harder than it looks. Like is really hard to direct that spin. I'm getting more consistent now, but another thing is I had to relearn the spin route because in my old when I run Sinsane, I do a different spin route because it was more consistent for me. However, they do the old spin route. Like when Sinsane first came out, I'm pretty sure that was the original way they do it. If you'll notice, he like does a little 180 instead of like spinning like all the way to the right and then turning left. It is really hard to describe, but like it's easier if I show you in game.
But I
But
understand like it's at the second
you know
half
what
of
I
the
mean.
spin. It said you're not like
I had no idea how to do that route, so I had to learn that. But to be honest, I was really just going for like a mediocre royal run, and then Sinky, Roldar, and everyone popped in, and they peer pressured me to learn the direct, and now I'm here.
that we got here. And it could be a fucking amazing run. That would definitely that would be a contender for record of the year.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like maybe I don't understand exactly how the voting ends up happening, but historical maps probably should take primacy, right? Like Cyberwave, it's new, but everybody knows like what the fuck is going on in that map. So when Joshua minus point one, and people were gassed in the comments, they're like, "What the fuck is happening?" It's because of how ground down it is. Same could happen for Royal, right?
Yeah. I mean, people know there's a lot left just because of the skips, but those skips are so hard that nobody's done them. Like that's why they aren't. That's why the record isn't as good. Now, don't get me wrong, the record is really good. Like doing either of those directs is like the hardest thing on it. But like stage one direct, I rarely hit. I'm like plus 00 on CP, but it's still kind of hard to do. That's why nobody did it for the longest time until Roldar did it in his run. But the way they do the voting is they basically like give it to all the top players and they just rank it. They'll rank it. Each one's worth like they'll add up points. I think. Then they divide it. Lowest points or highest points gets like it's ranked in that order.
And
But usually competition on maps, like a reason why a lot of these maps aren't as appreciated is because it's like a lot of minus and people think there's not a lot of competition on it. But like if you compare Cyberwave to like I'm trying to think of a map with an insane
fucking Hot
WR.
Wheels,
That's
dude.
like not good.
Hot Wheels is the easiest top on KSF, hands down.
Yeah, but it might be a really good WR.
Oh,
Like
you're
you,
saying you're saying a minus. Oh God, I wouldn't even know from the last one where it's a really good record, but it's a big minus.
it's a really good WR. It's like big minus, but the map's not contested, so like it doesn't seem as good because there's like, oh, it's not contested. But nobody's ran it, even though they might done the map really good. But then you look at Sidewave and they're like, oh, this guy minus .1 to everyone else.
Mm,
They're that's how they look at it. I feel
maybe like Hades 2. Could Hades 2 be it?
because some people, Hades too.
Because Levi like -8 on it.
Yeah, but I think there's also like player bias,
Yeah.
because a lot of people see Levi WR and they'll freak out, even if he's like save locked like a lot more, and he doesn't think the run's that good, people just go crazy. But then again, that's like me saying my Tronic run's bad, you know, like people still think it's crazy, even though like in my point of view, I don't really see it as that. Not well, I think the Tronic run's pretty good, but obviously there's definitely room in there.
Mm. And that same sort of thing, like somebody could think I'm amazing at surf, and then they could watch a video of your stuff or a video of Levi's stuff, and be like, "Oh, he's actually garbage." Is that kind of thing like you that perspective that you have as a top player? It how would I even say it? You see the minutia in the differences between runs. At the very beginning, you said you can just look at a record and figure out, like by watching it over and over, what's going on. I could watch the same record a million times, my guy. I'm never gonna figure
And
out what the
nothing's
fuck
gonna
you.
happen. Yeah.
Not a fucking like you tried to show me that Shonen thing. Hell no, I don't think I just am not at the level that y'all are at to have to be able to do that. And that's what's amazing for new viewers, I think, to get this window into this really old game mode. We pushed it so far from what it used to be on 1.6 in just the early days of like KSF. The amount that we pushed it is unbelievable. And just to even to understand it takes like thousands of hours. And I think that's why it's really beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you just have to put time in. And after you spend time save locking, you're gonna find out what is faster. Like maybe taking this ramp higher and not or like coming off a ramp early is faster because you'll drop faster. Like it's once everything like clicks for you, it becomes way simpler. But for other people, it just doesn't click for him instantly. Like Levi's crazy. He knows like what's fast, what's not. You can get units, but and he has like 2,000 hours. But I have like 4,000, and Took me a while to,
Wait, what?
get where I'm at.
He has 2,000 hours?
Or like 2,700, I think. He really doesn't have that much. Like it's pretty crazy.
No fucking way, bro.
I'll check right now. Actually, I don't know his Steam name at the
Dude,
moment.
I'm gonna lose my fucking mind.
He has less than 3,000 hours. I think that's the right number, or maybe that's the old number though. That could be like my memory could be bad.
They're putting something in the fucking water, man. I've been playing since 2014. I'm like you, I took lots of breaks. And my shit was fucked up at the beginning. I was playing like so wrong. I just built like terrible habits over like being way over reliant on turbines. If this
Oh,
motherfucker has spent 2,000, I have spent 2,700 hours. If this motherfucker has spent 2,700 hours, I'm gonna, bro. Please.
Levi's just crazy at a lot of things. Like if you've seen him play like other games, like he's pretty good.
He's just
Like
cracked.
he's not like yeah. Like, I have seen him play CS:GO. Like he's pretty good, but he like I've seen him play chess. He's really good at chess.
He's good at chess too.
Yeah,
Is he fucking like grandmaster, or is he just like he's decent?
I think he's decent.
So,
Or fucking GeoGuessr. That was one.
oh,
He,
he's
he
good
was
at that
insane at
too.
that. Yeah. I don't know if you remember like all those GeoGuessr streams. He was
No,
cracked.
wait, really?
Yeah.
I never
Did
watched
you
his
not
stream.
watch So back then?
I watched Soap, but you talking about Levi? Oh,
Yeah.
he
Well,
would also.
Levi was always there.
Oh, he would play and get a high score. Nah, I see what you're
Do
saying.
you not know well, it's like chat guesser, so
Oh, I know
basically
GeoGuessr.
whoever's watching can just I guess. And so he was always at the top.
I always saw Batman.
It's funny how Soap started though. I can always go into that because I was there from the start.
Oh,
You know.
okay. Wait a minute. Can we just wait? Okay, let me just write it down. Cause okay, it's like 9 p.m. here. I go to sleep at 10. Okay, that's like my only problem. We
That's all
had
right.
so far. We got how did his stream start? Fuck. We there's other things.
Growth
Maybe
of Soap.
growth of soap. Yeah. If he is gonna come back, it's gonna be 20-minute promo video, like with the Google ad. Sell myself on the street, bro. I don't give a fuck. Like this dude's getting a whole thing. Growth of
I want to
stream.
see him come back.
I talked to him. He said he wants to, but I don't know what the hell. You saw that he uploaded a video not too long ago, right?
Did he?
He uploaded and it had a good
I think
intro too.
I forgot what it was.
It's top 10 Goliath no fail, and he had a
Oh
whole
yeah.
Soap Tools intro. That was hilarious. That's in my video.
Nah, I love that guy. He the issue I had with the problem like I had with Soap at the end was school started up again, so I could never watch his stream. So I really never knew what happened when he left.
Oh yeah, well during Omnific, it was every day, and the chat was popping. It
I
was
don't think I ever watched his Omnific streams.
so you did that was like because I
When was
put out
that?
the Omnific video. It has to be before when I released the Omnific video.
Uh, yeah.
Fuck, we're getting sucked in. But that dude, I don't know if you felt this. I felt like he was like the fact that he got that many viewers organically. I feel like he was about to bring surf into like a more viable place monetarily. I don't know how else to describe. Like he was the only person I had seen get that viewers without being a top surfer.
I wouldn't say he's not like a top surfer though. Like he's pretty good.
But is he? Well, so do you think he's top 50?
Uh,
I know it's a tough
yeah,
question.
probably
Wow.
top 50 like all time.
Or even just top 50 with the points. Like if he's actually grounded out.
Oh, with the points, I don't know. Probably not. He didn't really play for
Oh.
points. He played for his stream,
Oh, I just mean like
and his
if
old
he
account got banned as well. But he
would
still has tops from back like 2014, I think.
see he's an old motherfucker. I don't know a lot about him. We do you have deets? Just hold it. Just hold it. Hold it in your brain.
Uh,
We're gonna talk about it. I swear to God. So
all right.
far, why the fuck did he leave? I want to know what you think about Momentum. Because I got some ideas about that.
Momentum. All right.
So we'll talk about that. And there were a couple other things. I will review this and I'll figure it out. My man, thank you so much. This was awesome. I know my questions like you got a little bit dicey there. The first time I'm really interviewing somebody like this, but seriously, from your end, it was like fucking amazing. Thank you, Mike.
I I'm glad I could do well.
Thank you, my boy. All right, have a good night.